So this is section B of June 2012 Unit 2 paper, and this one was all about Zara, and it says in the case study that Zara uses lean management and they use delegation, and it also goes into a big thing about how internet shopping or sales of fashion online has gone up. So question 7, explain why a decentralized organizational structure may lead to improved performance. So just explain, just 4 marks, no need to evaluate. Decentralized, start with the definition. Decentralized involves power and control being removed or taken away from the headquarters of the business and instead given to individual shops and managers within the company. So power is moved down the hierarchy. Why is that a good thing? Decentralization can lead to empowerment. Workers are given more power, more responsibility. That makes them more motivated. So that's one point. You could say decentralized. If each shop is allowed to decide on what products to sell, then that can lead to increased profits and sales, because different regions may have different products that are popular for Zara, different tastes in fashion. So if the managers who know the area are allowed to choose what products are sold and purchased and made for their area, for their store, then that can lead to more demand for those specific products. Question 8, explain one possible barrier for firms planning to enter the UK clothing retailer market. Right, think about this. The UK barrier to entry, to start with the definition. Barrier to entry is a factor that stops businesses from being able to enter a market. Because the UK fashion market is very competitive, it can be difficult for new businesses to enter. For example, in order to compete with the large companies within the market, you would need a massive budget for advertising, because most of the big high street stores advertise on TV, billboards, etc. So if you want to compete with them, you are also going to need to spend millions of pounds on advertising per year. Another barrier to entry may be that there is a lot of brand loyalty within the UK fashion industry. Customers know what they want and like. So in order to try and enter the market, you're going to have to compete with all of these brands that already have an established brand loyalty. So that's a point, again, explained, so no need to go into too much detail there for that question. Using a supply and demand diagram, illustrate and explain the possible effects on the high street clothing market of an increase in online clothing market sales. Right, so supply and demand, draw the X in the middle, and then what you're going to do, what happens to the high street if online sales go up? Well, the answer is that demand for high street goes down. As more customers buy online, they don't need to go to the high street to buy products anymore, so demand drops. So you draw a second demand line and show that going down. And underneath you would explain that because customers are buying more online, it means there will be less demand for high street based shops. You could say, however, you don't really need to evaluate, but the point is that affects high street stores that don't have an online presence, that don't have a website. If they do have a website, well, they might see demand going up, because not only will they have sales on the high street, they'll now have additional sales on the internet as well. But those that don't have a website and are only a high street store will see demand going down. Question 10. Assess the importance of lean management in order to help Zara develop a competitive advantage. Start with your definition. This is assess, so there is going to be some evaluation here. Lean management is a concept in which business tries to cut its costs in order to become more profitable. So more efficient and more profitable. One way that Zara can use lean management is they can use just-in-time production. And in fact, it does say within the case study, remember everything has to be linked back, they use just-in-time production. This means that they only keep stock that they think they're going to sell. They keep just enough stock at any one time to meet their current demand. This reduces wastage because they will not be left with extra fashion items that they cannot sell. And because fashion changes all the time, because it is a dynamic market, they won't be left with clothes that they don't sell, and so therefore it will reduce the amount of wastage that they have. However, just-in-time production is slightly risky, because if you only keep a small amount of stock at any one time to meet your demand, if there is a sudden surge, an increase in demand that you did not anticipate, you may not be able to meet all of the demand with the supply that you have. And what will happen? Well, if Zara cannot meet demand for a certain type of shoe or trousers or top, simply the customer will go to a competitor that does have the stock. So because it's a competitive market, it is quite risky to use just-in-time production because they may miss out on additional sales. Question 11. Assess 2 possible effects of Zara's business of an appreciation of the euro against other currencies. It says that they manufacture their products in Spain, and that's a member of the Eurozone. So Spain uses the euro. And the euro has appreciated. 2 effects, right? Effect number 1. If the euro appreciates, this could be a positive thing. Zara may buy a lot of their raw materials from outside of the EU, from outside of Europe. So if the euro has appreciated, they will be able to afford to buy more raw materials for less money. This means the cost of production goes down, which means they can sell more at a lower price. Second effect of the euro appreciating means that it could be that the products they're now selling are more expensive compared to outside of the EU. They may find that their exports goes down. If they sell a lot of products outside of Europe, these products are now more expensive because the euro has got stronger. So the Zara clothes made in Europe are now more expensive to buy if you live in, say, the UK or America, where you don't use the euro. So they may find that raw materials for them get cheaper if they're buying it from outside of Europe. However, exports for Zara may go down because their products are more expensive. Evaluation point. Or you need 2 evaluation points because it is assessed. 1, it depends what's going on with currencies outside of Europe. If the euro has got stronger, but so have other currencies, then actually their raw materials may not get cheaper than they were before. They may stay roughly the same. So it depends what's going on in the country that they buy the raw materials from. Secondly, they may not see a fall in exports, because if they are producing products that have a lot of brand loyalty, for example, if they are producing products that are price inelastic, customers may still want to buy Zara products even if they get more expensive. So in America or the UK, they may still want to buy Zara-based products even if the price is more expensive. So some people don't really care about the price going up because they have loyalty to the brand. Question 12. Evaluate how an increase in online clothing retailing may affect consumers. Okay. If you're a customer and there's now more choice of where you can buy online, consumers may be affected positively by this. Consumers now have more choice, and generally online retailers can sell products at lower prices than in the high street. So consumers may find that generally clothes online are cheaper for them to buy. Also, consumers will benefit because online retailing has the long tail. The long tail means that businesses that sell online are able to sell lots of different products even if there is only a small demand for them. So consumers that have demand for very niche products, niche forms of clothing, I don't know, clothes made out of bin bags or something, may find that they have more choice of niche products. So 2 good positives for them. May have cheaper products and more choice for the consumer. But it does say evaluate. So what could you say? You could say, however, some consumers may not have access to the internet, so they may not be affected by the increase in online retailing. That's a point that you could use. The second part of the question says, how would retailers be affected by an increase in online retailing? Well, the answer is it depends. It depends if retailers use the internet or not. Retailers who focus on physical shops and do not have an online presence will find that competition has gone up. They're now competing not just against other high street stores, but they're competing against online retailers as well. So they may find that their sales are going down because there's more competition for the customers. However, if a retailer is using the internet, they may find that their sales increase. As more people are using online internet websites, they will find that their sales may be increasing. Another thing that the retailer might find is that their costs go down if they are using online sales, because costs of running the business are lower if you operate online. So a business may decide to switch from the high street to exclusively online because it's cheaper for them to run. So that's kind of an evaluation all wrapped up in the question. The evaluation point is it depends. For those that do not have online presence, it's going to be a bad thing because there's more competition. For those that do have an online presence, it could be a positive thing because, well, they're online and other people are buying online. You could say it depends if they're niche or not as well. If they're niche, they may find more customers online because they may have customers from around the world rather than in a small area near their physical shop. So niche products may actually find that their sales go up. And that brings us to the end of section B.